Alright, that is enough of that. I can adjust my audio settings. But hello. Welcome to Left for Random Talk, episode 63.
And we're here, and we're live,
Yeah.
like always. So yeah, as she said, welcome to episode 63.
Yeah.
Getting closer to that magic number.
Yeah.
Anyway, so things have been a bit hectic for me.
Mm-hmm.
Work's been going crazy, but what else is new? But yeah, a few things have come out, a few things have happened here and there. Both good, both bad, and we'll be covering about 4 things this week. Again, not a lot has happened as of late.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, before anyone asks, no, I haven't been able to go through Monster Hunter Iceborne yet. So that's why it's not here on the list yet. That is a lot to go through. But I'm not giving up. Or to supplement that, we have at least 2 games worth talking about. Both of them are indie games, actually. Go figure.
2 games.
The 2 games we have on this list, Daymare and Devil's Hunt, are actually, it's a bit interesting. They're indie games.
Okay.
The big thing about it is that it turns out Daymare was actually a Resident Evil 2 remake before the remake came out. It was like a... Well, here's what it was. It was a prototype thing they were working on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was all back before the actual remake of the game came out, and people were at this point very hungry for a Resident Evil 2 remake. So a fan project that was aiming to remake Resident Evil 2, it pretty much started there. Well, what's interesting is that when they were working on the remake, I remember this quite clearly. They were having problems with with what kind of gameplay style would have fit what people would have liked, and that was the first one was basically like Resident Evil 4, which it was all going to be from over the shoulder style shooting, and the second was just going to be back to the original RE2, which was like fixed camera angles, running around, avoiding zombies, that kind of thing, just like the old games.
Yeah.
And they were getting quite far with the project, to the point where it was almost completed, I think. I think they built it from their own engine up, I think. Don't quote me there.
Quoted.
I do know that they had, what was it? They were reusing a lot of old models from like, I'm sorry, not old models. They were using models from the the Dark Side Chronicles 2, which is like it was an HD retelling of the classics, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Capcom came down. They're like, slap you with a cease and desist.
Why is that going around today?
Well, that's the thing.
Thank you, Capcom. I'm still salty about that.
Yeah, but that's the point. Capcom really doesn't like it when people when they try to make their own thing, because the problem Capcom sees is if they make this and it's better than us, oh no, what are we gonna do? That's what they see.
Like, Nintendo does that with like fan-made creations, like all the fan-made Pokemon games. They can't technically be released properly because Nintendo doesn't want, whoever owns Pokemon will sue them even if nothing in the game has anything to do with their creations.
I don't think it's actually Nintendo that owns Pokemon. Oh, let me rephrase that.
Well,
I don't think Nintendo created Pokemon, so to speak. They own the rights to it, but the real people behind it, I think, is like a group called the Pokemon Company or something like that.
I thought it was Game Freak.
I'm not sure who it is. I just know that Nintendo. What's the word? I know that Nintendo took in the IP, but I don't think it belongs to Nintendo purely. I think.
Well, even still, like this is a consistent thing with like Japanese companies. And
Mhm.
I've noticed it's always been Japanese companies. The only time it's never been that is Bethesda, and they're idiots for what they do. Because they try to
Exactly. Well,
copyright
that's
a word.
no. The thing that Bethesda does is when it comes to people making games that are quote unquote competition for them, they what's the exact word I'm looking for here? It's kind of difficult to say. When you make a game that Bethesda feels challenged by, they'll fight tooth and nail in court, and a lot of times they don't have a legal leg to stand on. The point of Bethesda's
They are those oh god, they're those hyperactive guys that want to tear you apart. They have no claws to do it, but they will keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you give up.
no. It's more like what Bethesda does is that they know they don't have a legal leg to stand on when it comes to these court issues,
Mm-hmm.
because technically speaking, they don't own the word Fallout, namely.
Yeah.
And uh, what winds up happening is that a lot of times with what they wind up doing is, especially if it's a word they want to use for their upcoming game, for example. Uh, I think it was someone who created a game, or sorry, was making a book or a game. I can't remember which was called Red Rock or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Bethesda began going with legal attacks against him because they apparently want to use the name for their upcoming game. And the point of these legal battles, or I say legal battles with the hugest of air quotes, I might add,
Mm-hmm.
is they want to do this specifically to waste the person's time, money, and patience to the point where they're so fed up with it, or they're out of resources to keep this battle up. They just give up and they say, you know what, fine, whatever, take it. I don't care. I've got other things to deal with, and that's what winds up happening a lot of the time
Yeah.
with Capcom and Nintendo. This is different. This is more of them trying to protect their IPs, even though what they're doing, or depending on what's going on, their copyright isn't being infringed upon.
Yeah. When it comes to like Japanese companies like that, it's both. Well, it's not both. It's mostly based on a simple fact of like Japanese culture. They don't like outside interference. They don't like outside companies coming in.
Yes.
Uh, so when somebody is harmlessly making a fan made creation because they love these guys' creations so damn much, a little ping goes off in the back of their head like, nope, nope, we gotta staunch this. Nope. Only us. Only we can do this. Nope. And they snuff it as fast as they can.
That's basically what happened. And, like I said, we have Capcom and you have Nintendo who do this. But sometimes, like I said, there are cases where they'll let the project slide if, it's different enough, or if even someone manages to bring up a legal, not even, I won't even say a legal battle. It's more like, what's the perfect word to describe it? I can't think of the word right now.
I think like, sometimes when it comes to this, uh, if they don't attack the person, they'll actually absorb the person into them. Or at the very least, they will ask them to at least let them have control over some things. Like,
More or less.
yeah.
Like I know of people who will create a Castlevania styled game out there,
Mm-hmm.
but wind up And because they make it different enough, i.e., like, it has the same flow, but it's not Castlevania, and it's its own thing. I know that Nintendo will extend uh, a chance for that person to work on the next possible game, things of that nature. It has happened. It's just very rare for it to happen. Is the thing,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. So to go back to point, this game got canned because Capcom came down, and to be fair, they were working at this time on a Resident Evil 2 remake, so it seemed kind of pointless at this point.
Mm.
It was more of a case of, do we really need a second remake, guys? That kind of thing. So from what I've understood, what I've heard, it ended amicably between the two parties. But the guys behind the project, uh, they got to keep their code. A lot of it. So, excuse me. A lot of the code was kept. A lot of the information was not scrapped. There was no thing Capcom said that demanded they destroy their code. And because of that, what wound up happening is they took all that information and just built from the ground up into what we see now. Uh, but we'll get into that in a moment. There's another game that we need to cover first,
Mm.
and this one we're going to be mocking this one a lot. So let's get into it. Devil's Hunt. Have you heard of this?
Nope.
Okay. Apparently, this came out 2 days ago, or 5 days ago, or 5, I don't know how long. And you know how The Witcher and the Metro series have done really well overseas because their stories were adapted into games?
Yep.
This is an instance of that happening and failing miserably. And that's the nicest thing I can say about it, because apparently, from what I'm understanding, Devil's Hunt is part of a book franchise or book series called Equilibrium,
Mm-hmm.
which, but that's the thing, I don't think there's an English version out there, so I can't, I can't look into this too well, Like, I've just found out about this, and there's very little to no information about it.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing the game's done. It's made me aware of the source material, and I want to find it specifically to see how much they fucked it up. That's the first thing. Second thing, um, the main protagonist of this game is the biggest wimp I think I've ever seen. And that is saying a hell of a lot. Like, think of the most pathetic anime protagonist out there, right? Have that
That
in your
little
mind.
purple dude from My Hero Academia wearing the diaper.
I don't care to watch that show, but sure, let's go with that.
He's literally a little toddler guy in the academy who speaks with a lisp, and he's only there to adore All Might. That's all he does. He's like absolutely pathetic.
Oh, is that the one?
Like he wears like a mask that has like three little balls on the top, makes him look like a rooster.
Yeah, yeah, and if I remember correctly, Shy did art, and it pissed off Danielle. I
Nobody
remember
in
that
DE
now.
likes him.
No, Shy did this specifically to annoy the fuck out of Danielle, not even Rebecca. And I was laughing
I know that
because
Megan hated it too.
no, I saw her face. It was the face of Shy. I'm going to get you for this kind of face, and I loved it. I even commented and said, "Operation Piss Off Danielle is a success. Begin phase 2." And sure enough, phase 2 began. But anyway, so take that character, right? He could beat this guy. That is how weak we're talking here. I actually had joked and said Shinji could beat him without the giant mech.
Wow.
A child with PTSD can beat full-grown adult. But no, so our protagonist is some loser called Desmond, and The game tricks you, by the way. It flat out lies to you in the beginning to get you to play. It opens with you in a burning city, demons are everywhere, and you start with a boss fight. And Desmond's like, ugh, not this shit again. And you think, oh, he's some sort of badass demon hunter, like Dante, except he's more demon than man, you know? That's what I thought at the beginning. That's what the game kind of pivots towards. And then you beat the creature. And I need to say this, Desmond steals one of the Doomslayer's moves.
Oh no.
During the fight, or as soon as the fight's over, he grabs the demon's horn, rips it off, and then shoves it into its head.
Wow.
And my immediate thought was, yeah, id called. They're preparing for lawsuits. The Slayer is not happy. The other interesting thing I'll give this game is the characters are creatively designed. Like, basically Desmond's whole thing is he doesn't use weapons, he just punches people to death, basically. But in order to keep people from questioning, shouldn't his hands be destroyed by now? Every time he enters a fight, one of his arms becomes... Oh, sorry, both his arms become like these demonic forms of each other. Except the left one is like, it cuts off near the what's it called? The shoulder. Well, the right one is just a complete demon's arm. And it's actually pretty cool because the clothing and the skin evaporates for a moment before replaced with these limbs. So it makes you know, it's kind of like the Van Helsing thing.
Yeah, with the werewolves.
With the vampires. More with the vampires, technically.
Well, the vampires, like, their clothes turned into the wings. They didn't evaporate.
True. Okay, yeah, so we'll go with the werewolves.
Because with the werewolves, they're actually tearing the human skin off.
Yeah, and a very impressive, like, it's not over the shedding skin, which I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. But that's it. From there, that's the only badass moment Desmond gets. Everything else is just downhill. And it's sad, because the premise is cool, right? We see a day in his life. He proposes to the girl he loves. He's getting ready to fight the biggest fight of his life, like he's an underground boxer kind of guy. He's got an extremely well-paying job, and his best friend's there to help him. And then immediately that night, he loses the big fight. He gets fired from his job. His fiancée sleeps with his best friend. All in single succession. I'm looking at this, it's like, Jesus, what happened here? It's like, it dominoes onto itself. To the point where I'm just sitting there, it's like, geez, man, this is just one bad day after another. And eventually, he gets into a car accident and he goes to hell. And this is where the whole... But this is where the stupid thing kind of plays in, because for some weird reason, as soon as you fight your way out of the abyss, this this dude wearing like half a coat or whatever basically takes you to Satan himself. And then they just treat you like you're the... They treat you like crap, but they don't treat you like... How do I put it? Okay, Desmond is the chosen one, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's this all... They call him the Savior and Destroyer, which, by the way, you couldn't come up with a better name than that? Seriously? You couldn't call him, I don't know... the Messiah... Something else, for God's sakes. A single word would have worked. You didn't have to combine two into some borderline cliche douchebaggery. But they did. Yeah. So he gets sent there. They say he's so important and powerful, and then Satan basically says, oh, you died. Oh, no, sorry. You committed suicide in here, even though it's clear that he got into a car accident. So that's the big thing. They're lying to you right off the bat. And instead of questioning it or being smart about it, he just takes the deal that the devil offers him. And for some reason, death works for him. What? Seriously, for some reason in his throne room, Death's just there. Just like I'm looking at this and like, aren't you supposed to be neutral in all this?
What the fuck?
It gets worse. So he takes the deal and he becomes a being called an executioner, which is like this sort of it's like a high-ranking demon, but a very powerful demon, where most of them are like they retain a human form. The rest of the demons you'll fight in the game are very I'm not gonna say they're generic. They're actually kind of interesting. Like it's a good mix of fantasy elements
Modern
with
stuff.
exactly. Like a lot
I
of the
love
demons.
that. I love that aesthetic.
Yeah, but what I enjoy about it is some of the demons you meet, they're actually clothed and they look plausible in hell, basically.
Hmm.
Whereas others would be more. The point is like the deeper you go in, the lower rank the soul is, the more disfigured and monstrous it is.
Hmm.
Versus beings that have been born in hell look like they belong in hell, which is a nice touch, I think. You'll find the more monstrous creatures the further down you go. That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
But so naturally, Desmond becomes an executioner, which are these like I said, these powerful demons. I want to say they're like commanders, I suppose, in terms of like Hell's army. But this is where the story just basically it becomes a ball of cheese at this point. We all know demons; they're dicks,
Yep.
right? They take this dickery and they just crank it up to Saturday morning dick, basically. Not even, but it's not even charming. They all treat Desmond like crap, but not in the way of like, oh, we're demons, we're supposed to give each other a hard time. It's more like, it's the new kid on the block, let's pick on it. Bully, that's it.
Yeah.
Like a very lame bully. But at the same time, Desmond's supposed to be this incredibly powerful, chosen one. So you would think they would try to treat him a bit better so he'll stay on their side. It's like, good job, numbnuts. You all had one job, and you're making him hate you. But this is where my problem comes in. Desmond is an idiot. They give him multiple jobs to do, which is one is kill his best friend to take revenge. He kills him, but he doesn't take his soul. So his boss, which is Sawyer, and another guy who calls himself. I'm actually trying to remember how generic his quote unquote name is. It's like Saw. That's it. That's what annoys me. For some reason, one of these demons is just called Saw, and he's the guy who beat him up in the ring, so he cheated. But this is my problem. The he fucks it up. They give him another job. He succeeds. Sawyer then tries to quote unquote mentor him to unlock the true demon power. They mention another executioner who's so powerful and mighty and has actually spat in the face of Satan, and everybody fears this demon, and his name is Muriel. You, exactly. We
The
couldn't.
almighty demon slayer. All praise the slayer of demons. Bob.
I get that. I get that Muriel is like an old Latin name or something like that. I get it, but we couldn't look into the Latin demonology and just pick out another name for our badass anti-demon. Muriel, really? It gets worse. So naturally, Desmond is starting to rebel
It's
against
better
them
than
because they.
Gladys.
But this is the thing. He starts getting the idea to kind of rebel, but when he's given another job to kill the CEO, and then he fights angels, but he can't kill them for some reason because they have like some sort of holy angelic power, which doesn't make any sense. If he's supposed to be a high-ranking demon, right, even within hell, why is it he can't hurt angels? This is like what? Ah! This makes no sense.
Hmm.
How do your grunts fight then? Are you telling me no one can hurt them?
What the
Idiots.
fuck?
So he gets his ass handed to him by some no-name angel, who for some reason we should feel personal attachment towards because here's the other thing: all the angels are like light-skinned and with blonde hair, and they all
Oh.
wear these gaudy, very gaudy suits. Except the one that supposedly kills him has a black suit with gold trimmings, and that's what makes him different. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, and your name is who? It's
It
stupid.
just.
So
I would like for once to have an episode where the first thought that pops in my head when you describe a character is not Nazi. How many episodes have we had where we have at least mentioned that horrible word once?
consider it. Hey, at least we're not fucking defending.
We're not defending or supporting that cancer.
But you know what I mean. In terms of accurate depiction, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
the point still stands. The idea is supposed to be that they're very, quote unquote, pure.
Blech.
But naturally, they kick his ass. Desmond gets sent back to hell. He's falling and nearly gets thrown into the lake of lava, basically. And then is saved by a fat demon who, technically speaking, is like Satan's brother. And I'm trying to remember his name. It's not Belphegor, it's like... I think they wanted to say Belial, but they fucked up the name. So instead, it's like Belial. Yeah, literally, that's it, Belial.
Or Belial.
That's my point. I think they intended to call him Belial, but then someone fucked up the pronunciation and spelling, and instead it came out as Belial. Which I want to think it was a pun as well, because he is a fat demon, but... Well, actually, that's the thing. I like him, because his design invokes classic demon. He's a fat guy in a suit. In a suit. He's got an impressive beard and mustache going on, a monocle, and has to use a cane. That screams classical demon to me. And he's very, like... He's smooth-talking and very to the point, but also kind of deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only part of the entire game where demons actually act the part. Basically, Desmond almost dies. Yes, apparently demons can die somehow. Even in hell.
Well, in the case of, like, I'm always gonna... Whenever we talk about games that include demons and angels, I have to bring up D&D. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. In D&D, if you kill a demon or an angel on Earth, or the material plane as it would be called, their body is destroyed, but their soul returns to their realm, where they reform and come back. If you kill them on their home turf, though, they never come back.
That's not exactly the case in this. It's just... I think that's what they wanted to do, because Desmond dies multiple times as a demon by people who really shouldn't be stronger than him, but are.
Mm-hmm.
And he winds up back in hell. But for some reason, he can't go to Earth himself, even though, like I said, he's been turned into a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it gets stupid. The only way he can return is if some other demon sends him back to Earth.
Wow.
You have one job. You have one ability, for fuck's sake. So, naturally, this leads to... what's the word? This leads to Desmond running around, working for other people, in order to get, like... It's like I'll do you a favor just so I can get catch the bus or something stupid.
Pretty much.
But what winds up happening is naturally, Belfo. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna call him Belial. Belial basically tells him. Well, actually, Satan saves him from falling into the lava, which makes no sense again. Belial doesn't like it because he dropped purpose to see if he could actually, grow as a demon. But naturally, Satan saves him because he's like, oh, he's too raw, he's too unprepared. And I'm just sitting there like, no, let him learn his powers, you fuck.
He's too unprepared, sends him off to fight angels. No, he's still unprepared, sends him to fight more.
Idiots. But it gets to the point where basically Belial says, look, let me give him a test. If he can do it, then I'll send him back. Deal. Naturally, Satan agrees. So he sends him to a demon prison to retrieve a prisoner. I want that to sink in for a second. And it isn't, and let me specify, this isn't like a prison for like lost souls or angels or no,
It's for
it's
demons
for other
that have
demons.
failed.
No, not even failed. Just for some reason they're there. And I'm just saying that I'm like, what? Why does this exist? Another point I should mention: in the game, demons grow stronger by consuming the souls of people they've killed. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So this brings up the question of why do we have a prison for demons we want to get rid of instead of consuming their souls and growing stronger? What is going on? Why are you all stupid? Why must I think of these plans for you? So naturally, he does the mission and he finds a particularly old demon called Agreus, which actually I like how they depict what happens to demons when they age. In the game, many of the demons you'll meet who have a human form have no sign that they're a demon. Even when they remove their clothing, it's still pure human. But this demon is Regis or Regeus or whatever he was called, is different because he's an old demon who clearly has a human form, but because he's so old, the demon parts are showing more prominently. It's as if he can't control how he hides it.
Wow.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, is like, so if as the demons grow weaker, does that mean that soon Desmond will just be walking around with demon parts showing all the time?
Who knows?
It's an interesting.
If he's able to even get there.
Exactly my point, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, he does this, and in the one of two moments where demons actually act like demons, right? They're trying to escape the prison, and for some reason are open, like the main gate. It's not even closed. There's no guards in sight. The fuck, you know? They're all like, what is going on? Immediately, the demon points out that there's a creature called the Guardian, which is the creature that's perched over the gates. And the only reason why the gate's open is because as long as he's there, there's no reason to close it. Which is a clever little thing. Immediately, the demon suggests, okay, here's the plan. On my mark, we'll run out there, run like crazy, and escape.
The fuck?
You can already see where this is going. And Desmond falls for it. Yes?
Just logic.
Well, no, that's the point. It's a lie. He's tricking, and Desmond falls for it. He runs out there. Immediately, the demon locks the gate behind him and just watches. And Desmond is forced to fight the Guardian, the Imprisoner, whatever it's called. I was sitting there, and my immediate thought was, how stupid are you?
Very stupid.
Exactly. It's like you trusted a demon.
No
what
wonder.
Did you expect?
No, the woman he loved slept with his friend.
Exactly. It's like, you stupid motherfucker. But of course, he in one of the only instances where he actually proves he's a strong individual in the entire game, he kills the Guardian to the point where everyone's impressed, even Belial's impressed. So as soon as he comes back and delivers a prisoner who apparently used to be a soldier for Belial, he just kills him. There's no rhyme or reason, he just does it. Throws him off the edge. Desmond's like, the fuck, man? Belial gives him the sigil to fight demons. Like, it's an actual branding sigil. And then immediately sends him on his way. And before he leaves, sends him, and Desmond just kind of asks, why did you kill your own guy? Belial's response is, oh, to make my brother mad. What? All that just to annoy him. Where's the cunning? Where's the subterfuge? Where's the plot to overthrow Satan? What is this?
The fuck, man?
Why is this? You have one job. You fucked it. Even the female... The only female demon or executioner you meet is, like, she's not even seductive or trying to seduce him. No, it's just... Her whole thing is, like, she's a bad girl. Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, spoopy.
No, what got me what I liked about her, the only thing, when Desmond asks her questions, she makes him a deal and says, fine, I'll answer 3, go. He asks 2, and then she negates on the last question and says, nope, that's enough, bye. And immediately teaches him the lesson of, don't trust demons.
But does he listen to that?
No, he does not. And technically speaking, he did ask 3 questions, because the second one led into the third question that was still part of the second one. So technically speaking, she did honor the bargain. You're just an idiot. It gets so much worse from there. In the end, like, by the way, he does kill the angel. I'm amazed he manages to do this. And the design for the angels is actually kind of interesting. It's not quite what angels are supposed to be, monstrous, but it's close. It's close.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, there you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's got a shotgun.
No, that's a sword.
It looks like a shotgun.
They have katanas for some reason. Anyway, he kills him. He kills a lot of angels, but then is being forced to pick a side. Will you be the savior or the destroyer? Will you join hell or help the angels? And naturally you think, oh, he's going to do the cliche thing of, oh, I'm going to side with the angels because they're the good guys. Props to the game. The angels aren't any better.
Yeah.
Well, they actually introduce the idea that they're vile as well. He's trying to get his girl to safety. By the way, he still loves her, and it turns out she didn't really cheat on him. She was just manipulated into thinking she slept with him because another demon did this. And it turns out his best friend's an angel.
What?
I know. And his friend, he didn't really kill his friend because they play on the same rules. And it turns out that his friend doesn't harbor any ill will because, of course, he doesn't. He's an angel. So that happens.
What?
It's just hearsay. And then it gets dumber where basically he tries to strike a deal with Gabriel first time around. And Gabriel's like, no, you're gonna... Fine, we'll protect your girl, but in exchange you fight for us. And he's like, no, I just want her safe, you fuckers. So he has to fight his way and kill all the angels. Well, not all of them, but he fights his way out and kills quite a few. And then he tells his friend to keep her safe. And he decides that his big thing is, I need to find Muriel. Because Muriel's already contacted him at this point, as a shadow. And basically, Muriel wants him at his side because he's like the third option. That's basically what Muriel stands for. And then it just gets dumber. We're basically this is the stupid part.
Oh boy.
It turns out
How
that
could it get any worse?
You're gonna just wait. It turns out that both angels and demons are looking for Muriel because he's an extraordinarily powerful demon, but he's a rare neutral demon. One that betrayed his own, actually murdered a large portion of the executioners, but has murdered angels too. He's extremely dangerous, but he's not like worse than Satan. It's more like, I just want to be left alone and I'm going to kill anyone who's coming after me kind of. But he wants Desmond at his side because they're two of a kind, basically. And Desmond wants to find him. It turns out the angels have been able to smell his blood and are trying to track him that way. By the way, every time an executioner is created in hell, death cuts their arm and they bleed to sign the contract. And that original blood is still there. So that's how they're trying to track Muriel, by finding the blood that's still, contained in a vial and then use it to sniff him out, basically. But they can't do that anymore because apparently Muriel hit in
Muriel
the abyss.
What? Muriel what?
I'm sorry. They can't do that because Muriel hit his blood in the abyss, which is the one place angels can't go to. But the demons don't know that it's there either. They think it was destroyed. So then, in the ultimate big-brained moment I think I've ever seen, I think it's Sawyer, his not mentor. Again, Sawyer is weird. He's like a demon with honor, but at the same time he's like conflicted by his responsibility. And like I said, he's more like a dick teacher than an actual friend. You know the type I mean.
Yeah.
So then, in a big-brained move, Desmond returns to the angels after killing a large portion of them and saying no to their deal. Yes, he does this, and then asks them for help. And he bargains with them by basically saying, "Oh, I'll find Muriel and do the one thing you can't." I forget what he offers to them, but they're like, "Okay, sure, whatever." And then they send him to hell. And then in the second move, it gets worse. In the second big brain move, he finds the blood vial, takes it to Satan, and says, "I want to make a deal." In his own house. Not on Earth when he's the weakest, not even at the Angels HQ where he can't go in. No. Let's do it in front of him in the throne room. You stupid kid. And naturally it doesn't go as he hopes. Satan just double crosses him in the instant. All because he wants to protect his girlfriend, but instead, Satan's like, "No, I'm gonna steal the blood vial now. And I'm going to tell Saul, who's been a total dick this entire game, to kill your girlfriend and your best friend." But of course, for some reason, he can't kill Desmond because he's too powerful, even though everyone and their mother has whooped his ass at this point. So then, instead, he sends him to his third brother, which is a giant snake. Desmond fights it, gets eaten by it, and then its head explodes. In a very like Gmodish kind of way, because it makes sense. Like, I'm actually looking back up the boss fight, because there's another issue with the game, and that is it is riddled technical shortcomings. We're talking about glitches, audio's not playing, subtitles not showing, things of that. And to be honest, I'm not like, I don't judge a game because of glitches, unless it's like,
game breaking.
Yes. But this isn't like one of the I'm not judging this game on it, because despite what people are saying that, oh, it's such a bad game and yada yada yada, it's stable. It's not fun, You know, because it's very repetitive. You know the saying dominant strategy?
Yep.
Okay. Well, basically, that's the game. One combo kills all. Where I found it. Uh, right. Uh, yeah, the game
You're cutting out really
processes,
bad.
but the total of
Rev.
them just makes up about 30 minutes. It's like I said,
I'm not gonna subject you guys to him cutting out that bad. Hello.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Hi, we did not get a single word of that.
Sorry. I forgot. I had something else running for the moment. It might act up again in a second. Okay. No, I was saying that the game has about like 30 minutes worth of bosses, and it's a lot of walking from place to place. Like I said, it's not a very long game. Let me see here. Yes. Sorry, I'm talking about the snake's head, but it loads. Desert and is on the.
We're not getting any of this, dude. Like, at all.
How about now? Am I coming in fine, or am I still breaking up?
You're coming in fine now.
Yeah, again, it was another. It was something else running in the background. My bad. But no, like I said, it's just. It's. When this is over, I'm gonna show you the steak head exploding thing, because it's that bad. Ugh. But like I said, it all ends with him fighting the demon saw, killing him, and then him and his best friend and his girl literally driving off into the sunset in a single car.
Wow.
Like I said, it's part of a book series, so naturally it ends in a cliffhanger. He's gonna find Muriel now, because now he can find him because of the blood, and yeah, you know, with any story or with any adaptation, you know, you're limited obviously by the source material.
Yeah.
But even then, you can take some liberties, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Metro did it. They took the original book and built around it, but kept the core simple. With this, it's just no. The only thing I can give Devil's Hunt is it has amazing models. Like the demons look great, the angels are interesting. The human characters not so much.
Yeah, I kind of noticed.
They're very they need some polish, but they're not so bad that they're like from the PS2 era, you know?
Yeah.
Someone made a good joke and they said, "This devil can cry." But yeah, if I'm not recommending this game, which pains me because I feel the passion behind it. It's just I can't I you shouldn't play it because it's just not fun. And that's why I rated a 5 out of no. I don't do that. I find the rating system so retarded.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, it's on the PC now. I'm sure people are already like mining the game to get the models already. So who knows? Maybe someone could make it something better. Actually, I'm just gonna check Gmod, or sorry, not Gmod, Steam real quick. Give me 1 second.
This will be interesting.
Well, I know it came out on the PC. I'm just looking at it for 1 quick second. Ooh, hold on, I clicked. Hold on, what's this? Rings of Elysium? No. I'm just trying to type in Devil's Hunt, for fuck's sake. Here we go, Devil's Hunt. Okay, and it is... It's on sale already. It's currently at a 10% discount. Instead of $34, it's $31. Oh,
Oh, good God.
it hasn't even been out like a few days.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is insulting. You know the more like this section on the Steam page for the game. It has Devil May Cry underneath. Oh no! Oh, the poor thing. Oh, I feel so sad for it now. I want to see some of the reviews. Hold on.
I was just gonna ask, like, what are the reviews? How bad is
Okay,
it?
okay. First one is recommended, which is I have to start by saying that this title isn't perfect. I want to cover the. Oh, jeez, the cons are so long. Okay, not recommended. I want to like this game, but it's really rough right now. It runs poorly. Pretty good, pretty good. Not recommend. Let's see. It's playing it. All I think was, oh. As I was playing, all I was thinking about was, pretty sure I'm gonna refund this. Then the sadness sunk in once I realized I bought I bought it on the Green Man Gaming. Eh.
Oh,
Oh, I mean, it's not all bad. A few people like it, others hate it. It's fine. It sits right on its it's sitting on the proper mix, I suppose. In a natural, a natural mix, not a let's review bomb this to oblivion. But yeah, that was Devil's Hunt. Maybe I'll contact Old Bed later to check out the models. I wonder how long did we go for that? Almost an hour, Jesus.
almost, yeah. You know the best part of all this is? The dogs left early yesterday.
Oh, good.
I don't have to worry about those pieces of shit.
So much anger.
I love dogs. I hate those two.
Excuse me. We all had those we all have those animals. Or all have those pets, I should say. Yeah. So let's get into the next one, and that is Daymare. We covered it slightly. So, like I said, Daymare started off as an RE2 fan remake concept. And what wound up happening was, naturally, they took
Capcom.
it into... Yes, Capcom said, please don't do this. They didn't. They stopped it, but they still made the game they wanted to make, which was... They took the source, they took everything, and they turned it into Daymare. I'm actually trying to find a screenshot of, the very, very early... here it is. So when they were prototyping everything, like setting, gameplay, things of that nature, they used a lot of a lot of Unity assets for it, specifically just to test out things.
Yeah.
This wasn't an asset flip like most people do. It was more of the like of, does the coding work? Does the gameplay work? Etc. Etc. And lo and behold, it does. So they wound up taking everything they had from the ground up, and they made an entire game with I want to say original models and assets, and a story that is very Resident Evil inspired, but in a good way, i.e., very
Wow.
cheesy. So we've covered this the game before, when it was in the demo stages, but now we can cover it fully.
Yeah.
So to give a very very rough story synopsis, you play chapters based on characters, but all of them are connected to each other. You have Levy, who is a quote unquote traitor to the Ares Corporation. You have Sandman. I believe you have another one called Dalton or something like that. And then you have Samuel. Samuel is a civilian with a heart condition.
I'm setting up a slideshow for this.
All right, which I find hilarious because for a man with a heart condition, he goes into the city that's infested with zombies.
What the fuck?
It's kind of it's funny, but there's a reason for it. It turns out that his wife isn't okay. So the big thing is the guy is he's a park ranger, so
Mhm.
he's in a guard tower a lot of the time. So he stays in contact with his wife via a ham radio, so the two can talk while
Like
he
an
can do his
oxen-free or some shit.
exactly. But when the helicopter that's transporting the three other characters goes over his little tower, it winds up knocking the his medication off the top of the tower, and he winds up crashing to sleep basically because he's in such a bad state basically.
Yeah.
So he wakes up the next day. His wife is telling him, run, something's happened, etc., etc. And this is what I love, by the way. Samuel's gameplay is all psychological because his condition leaves his mind vulnerable to hallucinations. So this actually allows the game creators to add like a bit of like natural mental illness to the game, but also add terror to it. I know that's like kind of an oxymoron to say, but it's true.
No, I get it. I get it.
So his gameplay is very interesting, um, and it plays into what happens. It turns out that these
What the
Ares,
fuck?
yeah, that's Samuel.
No, no. The
What?
image grew really big out of the screen.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Let's focus on Hades.
Hades. Totally not a copy of Stars.
Yes, well, so the group had just entered a facility, destroyed it because they don't want. By the way, it's not a virus; it's a gas this time. Which actually,
Isn't that from like? Wasn't that
Go
from
ahead.
like the sixth one where they're in Hong Kong?
Yeah, but this is more like the gas isn't like some gimmicky sort of weapon. It's actually more like
And it's not some entity that follows you through a building.
exactly. It's more like it's they've designed it to be more like an actual bioweapon. It spreads and it lingers. So what winds up happening is the helicopter, for some reason, drops off several canisters. They infect the entire town. Levy betrays his team because reasons. He shoots Sandman, throws the young pilot out of the helicopter while it's flying, by the way. And somehow he survives this, by the way. I'm not joking.
Wow.
I too wish I could survive being thrown out of a helicopter.
I mean, it's not that uncommon. There are actually people who survive a failed parachute.
True, but from a moving
They're left in the
helicopter at such
hospital
speed.
for a long ass time, but they do survive.
That's the thing. So that should tell you that something is up for some reason. You know, that there's something in the back of your mind that's like, okay, these people should be dead. During the fight, Levy breaks one of the vials on Sandman's face, and he gets infected. He shoots him in the head. The helicopter crashes. Levy betrays the company, tries to say, "Oh, it was these two. It was their fault," basically. Gets to the extraction point and is waiting for them. Sandman's not dead. He's infected, and he's like this. He's still human. For some reason, he took off his shirt, so he's just wearing the undershirt. He's covered up in scrapes and everything, and yet, how do I put it? He looks more. The clothing design makes him look more like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Oh God.
buff and covered in cuts.
It's
But for
Commando. It's fucking Commando.
Exactly, but he's freakishly strong, by the way. Like in the scene where Samuel gets home, he gets there just to see his wife dead. Like he's holding her by her neck. He's ripped off her arm with his bare hands and throws Samuel out the window. He's still alive, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody dies. So then, Sandman wants vengeance against Levy. They all, except the kid, all three of them reach the hospital, where they're waiting for extraction. Levy and him have a fight. Levy loses naturally. But by the way, you actually want Levy to lose because he's such a dick. Like pure evil. He's the type who would leave children on a burning bus, not because he has no choice, but because he wants to. So you want him to die. So he winds up fighting him, and I think is the most wonderfully brutal comeuppance I think I've ever seen in a game. Where Sandman just grabs him by the neck, just like the Samuel's wife. He rips the guy's arm off. You actually see the whole chunk just come off. Again, it's pretty bad, as in like animation, texture quality, everything. But again, this isn't a big studio, so I forgive it. Small things. But he rips the guy's arm off and then just snaps his neck. Oh, no, sorry, he doesn't snap his neck. He rips his jaw off, then snaps his neck. It just kind of it eats him. Like, oh my god. It's wonderful. So that happens. Sandman gets captured by a doctor. The doctor puts Samuel through the ringer, and actually Samuel basically starts deleting evidence. But the doctor gets killed by Sandman. Sandman makes contact with the kid again, who turns out he's completely fine. It turns out he's not a mindless monster. He has the urge to feed, just like a zombie, but he's still capable of controlling himself when the time comes. Again, something you don't see in Resident Evil that often. So they're moving along. The kid, you play as the kid for a few bits of the episode, or a few bits of the series. You make it to the dam, which it turns out that it's also been infected by the by the chemical weapon. So everyone was dead basically the moment the outbreak started. Immediately, the kid is in this laboratory with a doctor who's like, he's not a dick, he's just trying to get him out of there because he's resentful for what he did. Which, again, rare for a Resident Evil type game. And then go ahead.
I said yep.
Oh, sorry. And then he winds up fighting this weird mutant. Like, its entire right arm is just tentacles. It has another head growing out of its body. And it's wearing a Hades uniform. Yeah. Let that sink in for a second. It's like, wait a minute. Who else do we know who just was wearing a uniform and lost his arm?
Suspicious.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna spoil it. It's Levy. Or Liev, sorry. I don't know why I kept calling him Levy.
I mean, I've seen people pronounce Levi as Levy.
Maybe it's like when I typed it up, I got Attack on Titan. I was like, wait a minute, that's why.
Oh, no.
But of course, It turns out he's become this weird mutant monster, but is completely and utterly insane. And then the scientist reveals a horrifying truth that everyone in the Hades group of or security has actually been infected with a different type of virus that's like a mutagenic. It makes them super soldiers, but very subtle with unique mutations. But when exposed to the gas chemical, the other virus in the air, it results in these very strange mutations. Like it's completely and utterly unpredictable what will happen. In the case of Sandman, he just became the most buff, not even buff, sorry, the strongest man alive. In, in terms of Liev, he became a gross mutant. And the kid, obviously, he survived falling out of a helicopter, so he has regeneration. I guess. Mm. But, like I said, it just gets crazier where they meet up, they're getting ready for an extraction. Samuel still hates Sandman because he killed his wife, but Sandman's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I didn't want to kill her, but she left me no choice. And you're like, what the fuck? Someone shoots someone, though given that the kid and Sandman have their guns pointed at Samuel, it pretty much tells you he didn't survive, because you hear 2 gunshots. So it either could have been Samuel killing one of them, or both of them shooting him. Which is sad, really. But it turns out that Samuel is in fact an experiment, and his entire life was a lie. Even his wife was fake. But she actually did love him and wanted to spare him the pain.
Wow.
That kind of sucks, really. And it turns out that the real traitor was actually Sandman. He betrayed the company and unleashed the virus because I think it's because he got contacted by another group who was going to save his daughter who has cancer or some weird disease if he did this. And it turns out that Samuel's wife in reality wanted to stop him, and that's why he killed her, even though they were friends. And it turns out they've all been manipulated by some other person called the Cleaner in the background, who has been using this playing like chess with another enemy, but like not actual chess, but like I'm plotting against my rival, who we don't know, but rest assured I have a rival somewhere. That kind of thing. And it baits the plot where it turns out he has Sandman's daughter, and she's in a floating tank, implying he's going to use her. And yeah. I loved it. I loved every second of this game. I loved the Easter eggs. I loved the feel. It really feels like a Resident Evil game, but a classic one, Like, and I mean that like as in, what if Resident Evil never evolved past Resident Evil 2? In terms of like setting, theme, and creatures. And I was like, yes!
Yeah, what if Resident Evil didn't devolve into something this pathetic?
Exactly. And I'll forgive a lot of the zombies and monsters. They are very clearly like from the Unity store, but changed in a good, like they're not literally ripped from the Unity store. It's more like, okay, we take the base model and we change it. We add details like gore, or we add variations to them. But you can see that there's a bit of an inconsistency between the mutants in some instances. Like, for some reason, some monsters would look more fleshy and decomposing, while others would be more like your generic toxic mutant a lot of the time. But like I said, I can forgive it.
Yeah.
And honestly, this game was great. They even have a lot of references to Resident Evil 2. Like they've recreated the gun store in its entirety. There's a zombie you can find in I forget where, but you can find a zombie at the computer having died, and it was playing a game, and it says you died. as if like it's Dark Souls or no, sorry, it's literally Resident Evil. It's trying to reference the classic.
Mm.
There's so much love and passion in this game. You can feel it in every detail.
That's the game over screen?
Not for this game, for Resident Evil.
Oh my god, it's funny.
But that's what I mean. It's just there's so much love and passion here, and I'm hoping to God this game is successful. In fact, wait, you know what? Let me look it up on Steam. And I'm hoping Capcom doesn't get a stick up its butt. It's like, how dare they make a better Resident Evil? I'm really hoping that's not the case.
Wow.
Here we go, Daymare 1998. Which is still on my wish list.
Yep, you
Reviews are
enjoy that.
most... Reviews are mostly positive.
Yay.
In fact, they're doing... yeah. The demo is still downloadable. And it's on sale right now, at the date of this recording. For $26 instead of $29. Who made this? It's from Invader Studio. I think they made Hatred too. Not surprising. Oh man, it's doing great. People love it. Oh, thank God. I was so worried. I want to see the reviews. Yeah, people love it. There's some who don't like it because of controls, but most of them enjoy it. Yeah, most of the people enjoy it. Woo! Thank God. Future's looking bright for these people.
Yeah.
So
Ow.
yeah. Sorry. I highly recommend Daymare. If you're a fan of old school Resident Evil, then by all means, get it. It's worth your time. Ah, man. And like I said, can't wait for the models either. Alright. So next on our list we have, actually, the new survival game we've both seen.
Yeah. I'm excited for it.
Likewise. And that is, Day of Dragons.
And I know a lot of people are already screaming at the developer and people who show videos of Day of Dragons that what they're seeing is not dragons but wyverns.
Oh, for
I'm
fuck's
going
sake.
I'm going to stick with like the one like my main argument that actually makes a lot of fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Every culture has a different form of dragon. In Japan and like in all of Asia, they have dragons that don't have wings, but you don't scream that those are actually drakes. They are dragons. In other cultures, they have never ever seen a dragon with 4 legs and wings. They have only ever seen the wyvern shape, and that is a dragon to them. For all intents and purposes, a wyvern is a dragon. So shut your fucking mouth.
Well, here's what it can be effectively, you know, when people aren't recording anything or doing anything, I should say. And that is, when it comes to, this is how I see it. Dragon is a catch-all term
Yeah.
for any, we'll say, any beast that can any large reptile that can breathe fire or fly. Let's go with that. However, the names of like wyverns or Asian lungs or things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
Those fall under species name. Again, the snake-like dragon is obviously referred to as a lung dragon, or a lung in general. Then you have the wyverns, which is just, 2 wings and a pair of legs. And so on and so forth. That's how I see it. Dragon is just the catch-all term, and there's those that just have species names when you go more into detail.
Yeah.
I that and that is my explanation of why people are stupid.
Anyway, getting the rant and rage aside, because I really hate people who do that. Um, Day of Dragons is exactly like the game The Isle, where you get to play as the creature of your dreams. Like in The Isle, you play a dinosaur. That's what you do. You play as a tiny little velociraptor, and you evolve and grow to be like, I don't know, fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, or a Puertosaurus, as they're called. The long necks. There we go. But in Day of Dragons, they go beyond that. Like, at any point in time, a kid has always wanted to be a dragon. Or they've pretended to be a dragon.
Yes.
This game has done it. Insomnia has 2 videos up on it. Every Night X Riot has a video up on it. They've had Q&As with the developer, who is really fucking tired. Because he is working non-stop on this game. He's only had like 3 hours of sleep at a time. He's got companies and publishers and all that shit
Banging at his door.
just clawing at his door, wanting to work with this game. And every time they set a new stretch goal for their Kickstarter, and by the way, all the links to this, yeah, it's met like within a day.
And he's just sitting there like, fuck.
Riot actually suggested a very stupid dragon idea of a donkey dragon.
No.
And like one of the developers talks about like a moose dragon, there's a bird dragon, etc., etc. But
I'm just picturing this poor man just at the computer, his
like
hands in his head,
dude,
just like,
he
why?
was so tired during that call. It took him like a minute to go, wait, is that a Shrek reference? Yes, it was. It was a Shrek reference. But right now, everything you're seeing in the game, on the website and all that stuff, is placeholders. They are just getting the animations and the rigging just right. They have all this money to now buy and create custom dragons and creatures for the game. There are elementals planned. There are horrifically huge ancient and alpha dragons that are based off of their elements. So you have like a dragon that could be made from a tree, one made from volcanic rock, another one made from ice.
There's one thing I will ask. This is the only instance where I will ever ask this from a dev. And that is, please add in bull dragon. Thank you. That's it. Like, go ahead.
Technically, they've done that with the horn system for the dragons. Like, no joke, Insomnia has been getting spam because he repeatedly said 3 times in a row in one of his videos about the horn system of the dragons.
Oh.
And, like, in fact, the image that shows the giant worm, you can see a dragon with bull horns.
Yeah, she is.
Anyway,
the moment you said that.
Yeah. By the way, that worm is called Pookie. And if you get too close to it, you immediately die. And its face looks like a butthole.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I need to say this for the dev, and that is, you're doing great. I love the fact that he's not saying, he's not taking any other people's money, as in like developer company money. I love the fact
he's not pleading and begging, and during the Q&A, he said flat out, this game is going on Steam. It is my baby. I am not going to do exclusives.
Thank you. But this is the one thing I need to say to the guy, and that is, take a break. You've done enough right now. You need the sleep. You need to relax. Death by exhaustion is a thing, man.
Oh yeah. I'm a part of their Discord.
Awesome. If you can reach out to him and tell him, take a break, man.
I'm sure a lot of people have been screaming at him to take a break. But,
we're not doing this because we want it to fail or anything. It's more like, man, please, relax.
Yeah. It's
we're
a dangerous
worried
thing.
about you. Like, actually worried.
believe it or not, a lot of great actors and actresses die because they work and work and work.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Clark Duncan was one of them. He worked so hard that his body couldn't take it. Plus, he had a heart condition, apparently.
Exactly, and I don't want this to happen to the guy.
Yeah,
Like this,
yeah.
this is a man who was clearly passionate about something, and we
Yes.
need more people like him out there. This is in the rare instance where I'll ever say, like, I think he should hire other people to help as
Oh
well.
yeah,
Just,
he's getting like people. Now that he has all this money to work with, uh, he is He is like offering money to people to make the models for the dragons and for the
oh, thank God.
creatures. Uh, in comparison to a human that is 2 meters tall, a human only comes up to the elbow of these dragons.
Oh, good, good.
For the elemental, they only come up to the knuckle.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is one of the rare games where I want to buy the second it comes. Like, I hate that practice, but in this case, I
Yeah.
want to support this. This is like I said, the rare instance where I want to do this.
Um, they are planning to put it on Steam. Their their previous stretch goal. I'm actually looking at the Kickstarter to see what their newest stretch goal is. Their previous stretch goal was like bioluminescent creatures, and they passed it very quickly. Very quickly.
Like I said, he's just sitting there in his office, just thinking
Yeah.
to himself, "Okay, I've set the stretch goal. That should buy me some time to work
But
on what I need
here's
to
the
do
thing.
now."
You know how most indie games, when they're in
Mhm.
like before they even release for beta and stuff like that, their test worlds are very tiny.
Mhm.
Yeah, their test worlds are humongous. They're absolutely huge.
Honestly, this makes me worried on another reason.
Hmm.
Remember, Mighty Number Nine?
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, no, 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 no. It's not a case of promising too much and not delivering. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
It's just the problem of stretch goals getting met too quickly and the workload becoming impossible. That's my concern. Like, I understand that he needs to keep the funding open and doing these things so that way he can keep the project going, but at the same time, it's like, maybe we should open, like, something where people can give the money they want without having to promise too much up front. Because it's clear he's already going to meet the goals he's met already. Like, he's likely already working on them. But this is a case where I think he needs to do like ask for or have direct funding because if he keeps
They
making
have
doing
been
these
working on
promises,
this game for 2 years already.
well, there you go then.
And they've been very
Oh,
quiet about it until now, where it's just suddenly
and,
exploded. So
and now they're regretting it.
I think, like, that concern is not too much of a problem, because all that money is going to go to the modeling and making things a little bit better, and also the system.
Right.
But here is something that I want to point out to those of you who know the Isle but don't like the humans and cannibals in it. There is zero plan to add humans to this game. It is strictly fantasy. I have seen the creatures they are going to add to be food sources. The squid looks really, really weird. There is a dinosaur that spits acid, but it looks like something that came from No Man's Sky. So it's that really weird spore combination thing, but it spits acid.
Yeah.
There are dragonflies with no legs, but they have like snake tails.
Oh, I've seen a concept of that before. I like
Yeah.
that.
Pookie is going to be replaced with something that looks a little bit more like a hydralisk without the arms, but it's gonna be purple.
Okay.
Something like that. I am super excited for this game. I am so excited for this game. The only reason, actually no, I have to really think about words here. There is a mod for Ark Survival Evolved where you get to play as the dinosaur.
Right. Right.
That mod is so insanely popular, and I've noticed something for every Play as Dinosaur server that I have been watching from distance because I don't join because everybody wants to fucking murder each other. The wyverns are overpopulating. Everybody wants to play a
Oh
wyvern.
no!
Everybody wants to
Oh
be a wyvern.
no!
So, this game is coming out where you get to play a dragon. And Ark Survival Evolved's Play as Dinosaur mod is super insanely popular because you get to play a wyvern or a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping you're getting what I'm saying here.
Yes, I am.
This game is going to explode. But,
In a good way, I hope.
there is a dragon on, like, 4 legs. It has kind of a bit of, like, a toothless look to its eyes. You know, the big, adorable eyes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it looks like it's made of silver plating. And it lights itself on fire.
You know what? Here's an idea
Wait,
I
no,
want
that
to
was
do.
the wrong one.
Hold on. Here's an idea I want to do. When this game is like going into open beta or whatever, I think we should play/cover it. Like I'm actually going to try and spring for the money for this. Just because.
I
Go ahead.
hope so. It's a beautiful game. I want to play it. I have
Then-
I have the Isle. I just don't play it because everybody wants to fucking murder each other.
Then when it comes out for Steam, you and I will get it,
Mhm.
and we'll do. You know, maybe we'll live stream it. Maybe we'll cover the game extensively to have fun.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, we love Warframe, yet we don't do Warframe content on this channel. I.e., we don't do what like every other big Warframe channel out there does, which is overanalyze the weapons to hell and back, or cover every major update that comes out.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
look at the weapons and updates that come out. And we go, oh, this is cool. This is what might happen. We're done.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. I wish, I feel like this channel or our show or something needs a niche, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this has been something that's been in the back of my mind for a while, and that is, we need to do something creative for the sake of making something, you know? The show is great and everything, it's just, we could do more. I think this game might be our window into doing something. I think. Plus, we'd be supporting a great man. Let's do it.
Yeah, I am so excited for this game.
I
There is
almost had...
There is a dragon that if you rest while you're next to them, you will heal very quickly. There is a dragon that shoots plasma, there's one that shoots a cone of fire, there's one that lights itself on fire. It's gonna be insane, but not a single one of them looks similar.
I was about to say something. After I said all that, I immediately... I almost went into Imperial Evangelist mode right there.
About what?
No, with the whole supporting this great man thing. Like, I was like 5
yeah,
seconds away
yeah.
from launching into this evangelical type spiel.
Yeah.
Again, I missed my calling in life, which was giving speeches.
There is the links to the website as well as the Kickstarter is down below.
Nick?
The website will, like, if you click the plus symbol at the top of the website, you'll find their Twitter, you'll find their YouTube, etc., etc. Oh, I forgot to mention the horn system.
Yeah.
Females don't have horns. They have little
Okay.
nubs. Males have
Oh, okay.
horns.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, so it
It's like
when
with
it comes
deers.
to the dragons, the color system is not going to be very usable. It's the horns you have to look for. I am so excited, and you get to swim! Yay! I'm more excited to see what they do with Pookie.
And you know what? Like I said, this world looks interesting. I love the concept so far. Again, this has potential. We'll gush more about this game when we get more stuff, but for right now, it's like, yes.
So all these images that you guys are seeing came from the website. I forgot to put text up saying that, but it's
No,
all
it's
from the
fine.
website. We don't own any of it. We love this game. We love the guy that's working on it. You're doing a great job. Just please take a fucking nap.
Yes, please, man.
Take a nap.
Look, I understand. I don't support when like creatives use the money they're given for like personal shit. But actually, in this case, you've earned a fucking like maybe a week's worth of vacation or something. Relax, take a breather, go eat somewhere, spend time with someone. Just a few days, then go back to work, like refreshed and fine. You're no good to anyone if you just keel over at your desk. Please.
What I find funny is that all the lowest, like all the pledges you can give, um,
Mm-hmm.
the lowest price they still have, but all the higher prices are gone.
Okay.
Like, so people completely skipped the idea of paying $18 because it's the lowest it goes to get the
Mm-hmm.
game itself, and instead just jumped to the higher prices to support this game and
Oh
get like
fuck!
and get really cool dragons from it.
That's fine, but at the same time, it's like, oh dear.
Yeah, so like the ones that are all gone are like $30,
Mm.
35, 50, and etc. etc. It just keeps going and going and going. But like all the lower ones, lower than well, the $40 one is still there, but lower than 30 or so, they're still there. Nobody has It has not clocked in anybody's mind to not burn their money or like go for the lowest price. It's just no, we love this game so much we're gonna throw everything at it. Like good on you, good for you. But wow, wow.
Agreed. But like I said, it's just so good.
So good.
But we'll cover more when
Yeah, yeah.
more comes out.
When the game
So
comes out on Steam, we will try to get this game and show it off.
yes, and then immediately ruin it by stupid.
We're going, dude. Knowing us, we're going to fart around so bad in that game. Like, we're gonna see who can get closer to Pookie.
Oh, no, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to fly as high as I can and just dive bomb to the water. See how
There is
long it is
animation
before
for
I die.
dive bombing. There's
Yes.
animation for banking left and right. There's animation for going up higher. There's animation for running, sneaking, sleeping, uh, walking, kind of strutting a little bit, swimming, going underwater.
Walking, aka strutting.
Yeah, I think there's an animation to look around.
Nah, for me, like I said, I just won't. We're just gonna be stupid. I want
Yeah.
to be stupid for the
We're gonna
first
be
like
so
stream.
stupid. In one of Anthony's videos, he got really close to Pookie and then realized there was a dead dragon on Pookie's head as a hat. And then somebody else got too close and died, and they sat on one of Pookie's little grabby pincers, like the large ones, and just went for the ride.
Oh, I can imagine. I can fucking imagine. But yeah, like I said, we'll cover this game more when it comes out fully,
Mm-hmm.
effectively. But yeah, so uh, give me one quick second. I need to do something. Just a moment.
You're fine. I'm so excited. Oh, that's cool. For those of you who don't know, I love dragons. I'm obsessed with dragons. I have more dragons in my room than I have clothes. And rubber ducks, which is shocking because I have 45 rubber ducks.
But
By the way,
yeah.
unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go? I saw it. Oh, it was in my description thing. Today is the birthday of Abe's Odyssey.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm surprised that the Oddworld inhabitants haven't done anything for
They
it.
did. That's where the thing came from.
What thing?
Happy Birthday Abe's Odyssey Part 1 from Oddworld Inhabitants on
Oh,
YouTube.
well, I'll look that up in a moment.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
only like 1
So-
minute long.
Yes. So our last topic for the night is, again, a very old and grisly game from my childhood. Finally getting a sequel it has needed for decades now. Literally decades, actually.
Mm-hmm. System
And
Shock
that
3.
is... Yes.
I ruined it.
Yes, you did. I was actually going... I was looking forward to saying it, and then...
I know.
Like, wow. Well, now I'm disappointed
Well, show's over.
and
Okay.
sad. I was like, well, now I'm sad. I'm gonna go have sex now.
We can't go an episode without talking about porn either.
No, we cannot. And frankly, it's kind of.
It's better than Nazi.
But that's the thing. I want to say that it's kind of just become part of our show now, which is just, you know what? We haven't said anything. Okay, something weird happened. We haven't said anything raunchy or disturbing in like a few minutes. It's time to bring out the porn. But yes. So yes, System Shock 3 about a day or two ago actually received a gameplay trailer for it, and my God, they're not holding anything back. For one, Shodan is back.
Uh-oh.
Digital bitch herself is still alive.
Oh no.
The thing is, I think the god complex is finally worn off, because she's not talking like that anymore. She's more, I want to improve humanity, which I'm kind of like, okay, good. Now fuck off. But no, like, she looks so much better and horrible all at the same time. This inhuman mess of circuits. So, like I said, this is mostly just for like slideshow purposes, because there's not a lot to talk about, and if we spent every 5 minutes on every single image, we'd be here all day. Just all be warned, it's crazy. But again, this is System Shock. What do you expect? So, the trailer was kind of interesting, about a minute long. It showed off the station that Shodan's decide to call her temple, basically. Yeah.
I'm not gonna show those last two.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse this time around than you can imagine. Actually, the last one is actually a creature we haven't seen in, God, the first game. It was this, for those of you who've seen it, it's the walker creature. You know, the thing that has the human torso attached to its head module.
Where the hell did it go?
For some reason, that's the thing. I never understood why Shodan created that.
I should have deleted the Resident Evil stuff because now I can't find the shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, there. I think that's it.
Yeah, but like I said, it's showing off the station, the enemies you'll fight, which are basically just a revamp of the... Okay.
Carry on.
Oh, sorry. It's just a revamp of the mutants we faced in the first System Shock, but more detailed, clearly upgraded since the last time we fought them. And I actually enjoy it. Like, we know that the System Walk... Yeah, System Walk. We know that the first System Shock game is still undergoing its, what's the word? Its remake form. It's still being worked on as we speak. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they're using some of the models from that game. Which, if that's the case, I don't mind. I actually enjoy it. Because to me, that tells me Shodan is so full of herself that she can't accept the fact that the first batch of mutants that she created failed. So let me try it again with a new batch. With the same fucking flaws. It's like, clearly my perfect designs failed, it was just the humans I used. Okay. Keep telling yourself that. But that's the first bit about it. Like I said, not much was shown, to be completely honest. It was mostly just, what's the word? It was mostly just gameplay, a few monsters here and there, mutants, Shodan talking. But the atmosphere is there, you know? In the first game, you feel her presence, you see the monsters everywhere, and you realize that to Shodan were nothing more than expendable batteries, and then some. And I love it. I love every detail from that trailer. I loved every aspect. The oppressive atmosphere, the very worker-like, design of everything. It felt right,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I'm like, I'm home again. Back when sci-fi could be beautiful and horrifying.
Yeah. Not this cheesy bullshit.
Exactly. But like I said, I'm so happy and excited to see where this all goes. And I'm hoping that as much as people, or sorry, as much as like people would enjoy having another sequel to System Shock, I'm hoping we can just kill the bitch once and for all.
Yeah.
Because yes, Shodan. That's the thing people tend to forget. Shodan is the grandmother of the evil AI. She was there in the beginning. She, like, a safe bet would be she's related to GLaDOS in a way. But like with all grandmothers, they must die at some point. That turned surprisingly dark. I didn't intend it to be
It just
that
connected
dark.
with me what you just said.
That's in. As soon as I said it, I realized what I was saying, and I caught myself. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's not right." But with all grandmothers, they must. That's horrible. I want that on a shirt now.
No.
Just pure text on a black shirt that says, "All grandmothers must die at some point."
No. I think that exists somewhere.
Oh man, if it doesn't, I'll talk with Spencer's. I'll have it done. Oh, but like I said, it's wonderfully morbid, and I love it. And I can't wait. I can't wait to enter the station, fight these mutants, use the way, feel the ancient forms of machinery once more. I just hope it's not buggy or messed up. I don't think it will, but again, it's that fear in the back of my mind.
I mean, we know that like even the best games they have one or two bugs now and then.
Yeah, I mean, you could,
Even if they've been like fixed to be bug free, there's going to be one or two.
yeah. I mean, again, you could spend several years working on a single project, and it'll still be, it could still be messed up in some places, or
Mm.
you spare no expense. Borderlands 3, I'm looking at you. That's the thing about it. I've bothered to look into it again just to see if it's any good or not. Because, like I said, I'm not that type of dick who just bash a product because I hate it, Like, purposely give it a bad review because I have some personal vendetta against the creator or something like that. That's not me.
I know that like the biggest complaint of Borderlands 3 is what they did to Vaughn.
Who?
Uh Reese's best friend.
Oh, him.
Yeah, the nerdy guy.
They made him insane or something.
They completely destroyed his character.
Hmm. Okay. I can sympathize with that sort of thing. Trust me.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not my. That's I'm not here to bash those who enjoy the game or not. That's prerogative. Nor will I destroy a game because I hate the guy behind it. No, that's not what I do. It's never what I do. But from what I've seen from Borderlands 3, it's a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even talking about like what oh god, what's her name? Oh, what Quiet Shy showed in her video because this is something I'm gonna start saying from now on, and that is, please note, whatever Quiet Shy does when it comes to a new game does not reflect the state of the game itself. This is just some freak accident from Shy. Somewhere, somehow, sometime. But no, basically, I've seen bugs, I've seen errors, like characters popping in from nowhere, effects not working, the dialogue fucking up, the game being boring in some areas, issues with NPCs and characters, just a myriad of problems already coming. And my immediate thought is Borderlands 3 going to be viewed as a bad game? And if so, how hard is Randy Pitchford gonna lose his mind because of this? Because
Oh
we
boy.
all know the insane dumbass that Randy is. You
I
know,
fear for his employees.
I'm gonna be completely honest, like flat out, and I'm not even gonna try and like mask my discontent with the guy a bit. No, I truly believe the guy needs an ass whooping.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone. I'm not saying someone act on my behalf, and I'm not saying I'm going to do it, because the guy's beneath me, to be completely honest. And not in the sense of, oh, I'm so much better. It's like, no. I feel like if I punch him, I'm just lowering myself to his standards. That's what it is. No, I think the guy's ego's become so massive to the point that he needs a dose of reality. Like someone out there has to teach him, you're just a guy, like everybody else, you know? That's what I think. And then, if, like I said, Randy isn't a good person either. He's stolen funds from other games. He abused his employees. He's done a bunch of shady shit. And he believes that Borderlands, because he makes Borderlands and other games of its quality, that he's allowed to get away with it. It's like, no, you're not. Karma is a real thing, and when it hits you, it's gonna hit you when you least expect it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But beyond that, I like I said, I'm I don't care for Borderlands 3. I don't think any of us will actually.
I like how we went from System Shock to Borderlands 3.
Yeah. Well, I had my. It's just that's it. It came back with the whole concept. Mm, Sorry, it just became the fact we talked about, System Shock and possible bugs, and I took this opportunity to basically point and laugh at Borderlands 3 and how it's collapsing in on itself already.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably cover some of the shit behind Borderlands 3, and like anything else out there. But yeah.
Odds are, if we do, Liam's going to jump in the chat because
Oh, I know.
he'll just have like, I sense a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, but it's more along the lines of now just covering controversies and shit of that nature, like the whole Randy Pitchford losing a flash drive with company secrets and porn. Did you never hear that?
I think
No?
I did. I don't know.
It was so stupid. And his defense for having it was that the actress is a wizard or magician or some stupid shit like that.
What the
Sorry,
fuck?
I'm just picturing him trying to. Uh, I'm just trying to picture him in court, trying to defend him losing the USB full of company secrets with porn on it, and his defense is this girl was a magician. uh, but yeah, like I said, that's about it. I think we've covered everything on the show today.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, and let me just. Oh, we've just about reached 2 hours. We're getting better at this. We're getting better.
Yep.
But yeah, so I want to thank everyone for joining in today. Yeah, I want to thank everyone for joining us for Left for Random Talk today. Sorry it's been on the short side. Again, a lot of us have other things to do. But yeah. This has been Rev. We hope to see you all next Thursday. Stay tuned for the end for HH's usual end of show roundup. Catch you all next time.
Yeah.
See ya.
Alright, it's just me in the audience. I'll be brutally honest, I actually wasn't expecting to have an episode Left for Random Talk today. He told me yesterday, there is a chance that we might not have the show. I'm like, oh, okay. I wake up late, I get online, I'm sitting here zoning out, and he goes, oh, by the way, are we ready for the show today? Oh, okay, let me make my edits. I'm not bothered. So, I say this at the end of every single episode. I know that there really isn't anybody here because it's Thursday, people are at school. But, down below in the description on YouTube, there's a link that should not be there. And down below, on Twitch, there's a creeper face, which I need to get rid of. Both of them say, support the stream by donating here, and it shows a link. Or, you click on it. Don't click on it. It doesn't work right now. Oh, yeah, that's what that text says. It doesn't work right now. I actually double-checked to see if there was any way I could salvage, any way I could do something with the link and my current bank. And the answer is no. No, there is no way of salvaging that. I have to join a new bank. Yeah, so don't click on it. It doesn't work yet. I'm working on that. It's gonna take a while. I really don't have any free time. For those of you who are on Twitch, we are going to raid and host my friend Like an Alpha. He's mostly been on a Final Fantasy binge for the past few weeks. He plays Warframe, he plays Final Fantasy, he plays really any game that he feels like playing. He's a great guy. We played D&D with him, and he streams that on Fridays, so tomorrow I'll be there. Other than that, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next Thursday. Saturday is going to be the last Okami stream, if I can get off my ass and grind in the background. Hopefully. Afterwards, I have a straw poll going on in my Discord and also on my Tumblr to find out what game I'm going to play in episodic fashion. Just because I want to keep playing games in episode style. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next time. I said that early. Have a good night, everyone.